Hey, everybody. Terry, how are you? Can you hear me? Good evening, James. Hello, Larry. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday evening. Eric, Brandon. Hello, everybody. All right. Well, thanks for confirming, James. All right. We got some new questions from Eric. Awesome. Yes. Uh, Chef Dad. Hey, welcome. Good evening. Uh, good Sunday evening for us, at least. Hope everybody's doing well. So I missed the Saturday live, so I thought I'll make it up by doing it on Sunday evening. Brendan, awesome! You sprouted the lemon starburst. I did too. I have I think 4 lemon starbursts growing right now. Cooper, hello, Cooper. How are you? Yeah, so we're gonna do the usual thing. Just gonna talk to people and answer questions. And if you have any, please post them in the comment, and I'll try to read it. How do you fix wilted seedlings or shock? Wilted seedling. Maybe did you put them in the heat all of a sudden, or did you forget to water? Because those are usually the only time they wilt. Another thing that causes them to wilt could be because like you have too much water and it just kind of kill the plant. Denise from Arkansas. Hello, hello. Ah, you transplanted it. Could be because you probably damaged the roots. Um, if you just transplanted it, the only reason that seedlings sort of like wilted is because either you damage the roots or you introduce them to a new environment that they're not ready for. Then they're gonna kind of wilt it, become wilted. You started the another air garden with orange long-tailed scorpion, 7 pot, okay, and a bunch of other stuff, and none of them germinated. Uh, it could take it's 21 days already. Check to see how wet the sponge is, because if it's super wet, usually that would cause a problem. Um, Sometimes if it's super wet, they don't sprout at all. They could be rotten, or because they sprouted and the root there's just too much water that the roots can't breathe, and then they kind of burn the tip of the roots, and then they just eventually would die. Usually, I don't start seedling in the air garden, but if you have a way to not allow the seedlings to get wet all the time, then just give them a moist environment, just enough to have them sprout. But if you always soak them in water and they're always underwater, then that's going to be a problem. They're not going to sprout. So too much water is a big issue when sprouting seeds. Sam from Quebec. Hello. Wow. From Quebec, Canada, right? Yep. I think that's it. Is it normal for reapers to have a lighter green leaves? Yes, any pepper can have lighter green leaves. Sometimes it could be due to them being young leaves. Sometimes it could be because there's something with the plant. But if they're light green and they look healthy, don't worry about it. If they're light green and turning yellow, then that's the problem. BD! BD Beats, how are you, sir? Good to have you here. Florio, hello, hello, hello. You have a Reaper and it has edema. Okay, that could be because it lacks airflow. There's too much water. The leaves can't release the water fast enough. So introduce it to some airflow and also don't water too much. And that usually take care of the edema. What's up, Philip? Good to have you here. How you doing? Good to see you as usual. All right, we have 35 people. Hello, everybody. Good to have you here on the Sunday night. Eddie, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. So yeah, as usual, I don't have anything planned. I think a lot of the times people ask usually about hydroponic and peppers, but you know, feel free to ask me about other things that I grow in the garden. You know, I do a lot of microgreens. I grow a lot of leafy vegetables in soil and in hydroponic. I'm growing melons. I'm growing Japanese melons in hydroponic right now, and I have 4 amazing looking fruits, guys. I'm going to upload the video once I'm done with it, but it is doing great. Spike, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Peppers alive. That's right. Peppers are alive. You know, peppers is amazing. Once you start growing peppers, it's gonna lead you into many other things, and you know, the good stuff like it'll keep you healthy because you're actually growing what you eat. Also, when you start to grow peppers, you're gonna start to grow more peppers, and you're going to start to explore. And when you start exploring, you're going to start making hot sauces. You're going to make a lot of dishes and dips and all the fun stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And also, if you go to the party, you know, you always want to bring something really nice and for the guys, you know, like if you go to a football game or whatever, bring some dips for the chips, you know, and you're going to be one of the favorites. Ponton, good to have you, my friend. We're doing great. Thank you. How are you guys? Uh, Thank you. Your advice for indoor gardening is priceless. That's awesome, Barnett. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I love growing indoors because it gives you options for the winter, but also growing indoors, you can there's a lot of possibilities. You know, you have everything in a controlled climate, and if you do things correctly, it could be so amazing, and you can learn a lot from it. Batman, my long lost friend, Batman. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Guys, Batman Make It Wayne, he has a YouTube channel. He makes hot sauce, he sells seeds and all that stuff. Every so often, Batman would surprise me with a hot sauce bottle, and that's like the, you know, one of the happiest times when I get it. It's awesome. I love getting little stuff from Batman. Just surprise stuff. You know, sometimes he has new pepper varieties that he just want to send me to grow, or he has a new sauces, you know, hot sauce he want me to try. So yeah, check out his channel. He does live also. He does challenges and he does pod test review. So a good channel overall. So check him out. Pepper Donkey. Oh yes, that's right, Pepper Donkey from Batman. Eric Smith, what's the max time you recommend to say it's okay to start over with the seeds for the air garden? You know, sometimes if it takes 21 days or over, just trash it, start over. If you have problems starting seeds in the air garden, try to start it without the air garden and then move it over to the air garden once it's ready. I usually have really good result that way. The reason I don't like to start seeds in the air garden, for one, is because I don't want the unit running when I'm not fully utilizing it. So if I'm only starting seeds, I don't use the unit because, you know, you don't want to utilize the full unit when you only need to start seed. So I start seed somewhere else, and then once the plant is ready, then I transplant to the air garden and then get it going, and it's going to be awesome. What should you do to it by now? Just trash it. If you have extra seeds, start over. If it's already been 21 days. Or take the seeds out of those pots, and if they still look fresh, try it in a paper towel method. Just have the moisten the paper towel, put it in there, and put it under a grow light. Keep it nice and warm to see if it grows. So if it doesn't grow, then the seeds have probably already been damaged, or it's already gotten bad. You can't get your jalapeno to come out and pod, just leaves. If they're just leaves, it means either they're not ready to produce pods, or your soil has too much nitrogen. And what it does is it causes the plants to just keep growing and growing. And once it's ready, it'd be fine, because once it's ready, the plants will be fully mature and it's going to produce a lot of pods. So mature plants produce the best amount of pods and also nice quality pods. So just give it some time. If it's not potting, then it's not ready. But if it's potting, if it's flowering and it keeps dropping the flower, then there could be a problem. But yeah, just let it grow until it gets to the full size, and it will produce peppers for you. Jalapenos are very easy to grow. They're low maintenance, and they fruit really easily, even in small containers. So jalapeno is one of those plants that I love to grow because they're so easy. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. I forgot. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. We already celebrated ours. So happy Mother's Day to you guys. I hope you all had a wonderful time with your family. If you have children, with your children and all that stuff. Mother, grandmother, all that. Happy Mother's Day. What a wonderful day. Carolyn, happy Mother's Day, Carolyn. Thanks, Batman, for reminding us. I almost forgot. I kind of talked away. I forgot today is Mother's Day. That's probably because I already celebrated ours. Rafael Munoz, where can I get the lemon starburst seeds? You can trade for them on Pepper Lovers Community on Facebook. There's so many people growing that right now. So if you go there, make some friends. Make sure you make a lot of friends. If you go there and ask for seeds right away, you may not get a response. But if you go there and genuinely want to meet people and make friends, or just trade, you're gonna get so many seeds. I promise you. Just go to Pepper Lovers. Yeah, guys. So this year the weather has been so strange. I mean, it's just weird. So normally by this time I would have already have plants that have pods, right? But this year my plants are like maybe 3 inches tall because they keep getting set back, all the time. They keep setting back because, I put them outside and then it gets cold. And then I just leave them outside because we're in Texas. And, up until now, we still had really cool temperatures. So the peppers are kind of struggling a little bit. But I think from here on forward, it's going to be very hot. So they're going to start to grow. So I haven't even prepared the raised beds for my peppers yet. I still have vegetables that I got to get out of there, the cool weather vegetables. They're starting to flower and all that, so they're not good anymore. So what I do is I'll cut those out and compost them, and then I'll put peppers in their place. Roger, thank you so much, my friend, for the donation. Your message, hi King, I learned so much from you. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. How do you join Pepper Lovers? Just go to Facebook and request to join, and the admin will take a look and they'll accept. Bossman from Korea, hello. I remember you from last week, Bossman, Korea. Welcome back. Thanks for joining. Hello, Marty. Yeah, Carolyn, isn't it? It's really strange this year, isn't it? The weather the cool weather just seems to like keep one hanging on, they don't want to let go yet. So everything is a little bit delayed this year, especially my peppers. My fruit trees are doing fantastic, guys. My persimmon trees, oh man, it's beautiful right now. Lots and lots of fruits. My pear trees are fruiting all over the place. I'm gonna have a ton of pears this year. Gage, hello, my friend. Good evening. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys have fun with the celebration. Chris, thank you. Your voice is calming. Thank you very much. That was very kind of you. Deborah, my chilies peppers are exploding, but my jalapeno, not the jalapeno. Yeah, I mean jalapeno. That's weird because jalapeno should be the one that's first. So just give it some time. Maybe it's just not used to this weather. So give it a little bit time. It's gonna do really well. Carolyn, the salsa was fantastic. Yeah, definitely habanero salsa from Carolyn. It's awesome. I mean, I love salsa. It's like it's one of those side dish that you just make and it's so fast and everyone can enjoy. Just don't put too much heat. And you can make one that everyone can enjoy, especially on game day or any sporting events or anything where people are gathering. You can make those salsa with peppers. Shishito peppers are amazing. What I usually do is I grill the shishitos and I sprinkle lemon pepper, the just lemon garlic peppers on it. That's it. That's all you need. A little bit of oil and a little bit of lemon pepper on the shishito, and that's all you need. It's amazing. It's just simple and delicious. That's it. Chris, you prefer peppers, hydro or soil? Actually, I do both. I don't prefer one over the other. Growing in hydro gives me the option to do it inside in a controlled climate. And also it helps me grow peppers all year long because in winter you can't grow them outside. So I take them inside. So I have peppers like all year long. My refrigerators, my freezer actually is full of frozen peppers. So even in the wintertime, I can make salsa. Yeah, guys. So if you have excess of your peppers, just wash them up and then freeze them. Then they're going to be good like all year. So you can use them in the wintertime and all that stuff. So guys, my family, we love crawfish. Who here love crawfish? The people in Texas, sometimes they call it crawdads. But crawfish from Louisiana, I mean, we do a lot of crawfish, and man, crawfish boils with like super hot, like Scotch bonnets or like 7 pots. You put them in there, it is amazing, guys. Yeah, the super hot Gauge, you know what I'm talking about, right? The super hot in crawfish boils, oh my goodness, it's gonna set you on fire. When you eat it, right, you sweat, but that's the good part about eating crawfish. You gotta sweat and and enjoy the heat at the same time, and maybe drink a beer, try to cool it down. But crawfish is something that is just it's very addicting. Andy, hello, Andy. Good to see you, buddy. Philip, yes, I absolutely love crawfish. Yeah, crawfish is amazing. You got to add the super hot in there, Philip. Try it. I'm sure you have already, but yeah, crawfish boil with super hot's amazing. When I do eat crawfish, I touch my face and man, it's crazy. I sweat through my hair and everything. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's the best part about it. You eat and sweat at the same time. It's hot. Sometimes you got to take a break. Have you ever grown mutant peppers? The candlelight mutant? No, I have not grown that variety, but it looks beautiful. I've seen many people grow it. The very first time when I saw the candlelight mutant was from Steven. I'm not sure if Steven's still on YouTube anymore, but Steven, I think is it Steven McLaurin? Yeah, I think that's what it is. He used to have a channel, and I watch him all the time, and he talks highly of the candlelight mutant. That's the person that I've seen. The first person that grew that was Steven. I miss his channel. I don't know where he's been. I think he either created the chocolate bootla or co-created it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I used to watch his channel all the time. I don't see him on anymore. Anyone knows what happened to Steven? Here in Canada, we do more crabs. Yes, Brandon, crabs are awesome too. Crab boil, crawfish boil, whatever is just, yeah, you gotta. I used to live in Seattle, right? And I forgot what this seafood place was. God, I forgot the name. But when you go there, you sat down and the table is covered with this plastic, right? And they cook it and they bring it into a bucket and they dump it across. They just dump it out in front of you and you just go at it. It's awesome. And sometimes they have like amazing, crabs, and they're really spicy, and it's so good. Weedy Boy Gaming, thank you so much, my friend, for the donation. Thank you. Chris, you ordered the Spider Farmer SF1000. You're gonna be happy. The 1000 is perfect for a 2x2. Does it come with a dimmer? I love lights that has a dimmer, guys. I think that function is a must on all grow lights. Yeah, anything with a dimmer is a must for me right now. Once I got introduced to the dimmer, I can't go back. Okay, Mama J, you got a hot sauce called Call the Fire Department. I like that name. That's awesome. Call the fire department. I really love these really creative names that people give to their hot sauce. I think naming is a cool thing. You have a cool, unique name. That's alone in itself is what makes me buy the hot sauce. Roger, thank you again, my friend. Roger Rev. You love to grow peppers. Yes, awesome. Peppers are amazing. Everyone should grow one plant in the garden. Even if you don't eat them, just grow one because somebody else will eat them, like your neighbors, your friends and stuff. And you can make them into so many things. And the amazing things about peppers is that every variety is slightly different from the other. It tastes different. It looks different. There's thousands of varieties out there. I want to grow all of them, but every season, I think everyone that grows pepper on Pepper Lovers know the problem I have. Every year I have to limit down to only a few. It's so difficult. It takes like 2 weeks for me to figure out which 20 I can limit it down to. Philip, thank you, my friend. That's very kind of you. Yeah, so this year I have a few crosses that I'm working on. So I think I'll show you guys that in the next update. It's gonna be really cool. Weedy Boy Gaming, I'm growing 3 varieties of lemon. Oh wow, all 3 of those: lemon starburst, the peach star kiss, and the white tie. Oh man, you have like the best. Those are my favorites. The white tie should be in everybody's garden. That's such a versatile plant. It's so versatile. It's easy to grow. It's so beautiful, and it produces so much. Every year I grow like maybe 8 plants of the white tie because everyone that I know, like our families, they just love it. They keep asking for them, so I have to grow extra for everybody else. Wicked. Ever establish your own strain? Yes, I have many of my own strains. I think like I lost count after 25. I forgot how many, but I have quite a few. The lemon starburst is one of my own. Wicked. If you haven't seen those yet, check it out. The lemon starburst. Joaquim, how you doing, my friend? The hundreds and thousand tomato variety that you gave me. It started to ripen already. It's red. I have a few red pods right now. I mean, red tomatoes. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of flowers. I mean, that's no joke. It's in the name, hundreds and thousands. It does produce hundreds and thousands of flowers, and possibly, it's going to turn into hundreds and thousands of tomato. What are some of my favorite variety of tomato? I love the let's see, this chocolate sprinkle. I love the chocolate sprinkles. Is a nice variety. I love the berries crazy cherry. Man, the berries crazy cherry produce crazy. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of pods on like one huge cluster. So I grow them because it's such a beautiful display. I do love sun sugars. um, I think Sun Sugar and Sun Gold, are they very similar? I think they're very similar. I grew both of those a few years ago. I bought them from Home Depot, and I do like the Sun Sugar. Let's see, what else do I like? Uh, I think that's it. I usually grow just a very few tomato varieties because they produce so much. Which do I like the best? Man, I don't know. As far as taste, maybe the chocolate sprinkle so far, because I love meaty tomato, the cherry ones. But this year I'm growing what is it? Uh, oh man, I forgot. It's one of the larger tomato variety. I need to get the name, but yeah, as far as being my favorite, I think the chocolate sprinkle so far is my favorite. Yeah, Weedy Boy chocolate cherry is really is good to, you know, there's so many different ones, and I'm not sure which one are the same, because there's uh Roger is not the beefsteak. I think is it Brandywine? Brandywine, that's it. I'm growing the large Brandywine tomato this year. I went to Lowe's and I saw it. I was like, wow, I just need to try one of this year. So yeah, that's what I'm growing right now. Because I use a lot of tomatoes, because I make salsa a lot, so I always love to add some tomatoes to it. And I'm growing herbs like culantro. I love to grow culantro, cilantro, because I use all those in my salsa. Yeah, brandy wines are really cool. I like that variety. I should grow more tomatoes. Maybe in the future I will, reduce the amount of peppers, but increase more tomatoes that I should be growing. But I usually grow the cherries. Every year I grow berries crazy cherry, and then I also grow the sun sugar, and they produce so much. I mean, even the birds come and they eat like a ton of them, but it's still, there's just so much left. So those things produce like crazy, and they don't stop growing. I mean, I guess they call it indeterminate for a reason. They just keep growing, 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 and every time they grow, they just produce more. And I usually grow only one tomato, because you can always clone them and then make more tomato plants if you need. They're so easy. Tomatoes are just one of those plants that literally, if you're going to clone, you're going to get 100% success rate. You're not going to fail cloning a tomato, or propagating in better term. When you propagate tomato, it's always going to be 100% success. Just put them in water and they just root. Sometimes they just root in the air, just cut it off and grow it. It's that crazy. Roger, yes, edible chrysanthemum. I love them. I grow them all the time. Yes, tong ho. That's what the Vietnamese people call them, tong ho. And man, last year I grew one plant and I collected maybe a few thousand seeds. I have a Ziploc bag, like the sandwich Ziploc bag, and it's full of vegetable chrysanthemum seeds. They produce so much. So if you grow them one year, you're gonna have seeds for like forever because they produce a lot. Vegetable chrysanthemum are great. Amaranth, Chinese amaranth, which is called Chinese spinach also. They're amazing, guys. You should grow them. They're really, really healthy plants. They're easy to grow and they love the heat. Yeah, and they're so good in hot pot, Lao. Yes, that's exactly what we use them for, Roger. Well, we use it for hot pot. They're amazing. Can you cross garlic into? I don't think so, Roger Rev. I think you cannot cross. Peppers has to be crossed with peppers. But wouldn't that be amazing if a pepper that it tastes like garlic, like with some heat in it? That'd be cool. All right, cheers, everybody. I've been talking for a while. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Brandon, yes, I am growing three varieties of cucumber this year. I'm growing the Armenian cucumber, which is the big old, like, really long cucumber. It's actually a melon. I'm growing China jade, and I'm also growing uh, the mini Persian cucumbers, the Bayed Alpha. Yeah, those are the three I'm growing. Modelo, you gotta have Modelo. Those are good stuff. Cheers, Roger. Cheers. Yeah, I there's a few things that I always grow every year. One is the honey kiss melon. I love honey kiss melon. And if you have never grown honey kiss melon, maybe you should look it up. They're amazing melons, and they're just delicious and super super sweet. And they're in the summer when you make them, you put them in the refrigerator. They're ice cold. Oh man, it's awesome. I always grow cucumbers, and I always grow the parthenocarpic varieties or the gynoecious varieties. If you don't know if you haven't heard of those terms before, parthenocarpic meaning the cucumber that produces both male and female, but they don't need pollination to produce a cucumber fruit. So that's why I love growing them, because they don't require pollination. And those are the kind of cucumber that you can grow indoors, because of course indoors there's no bees and stuff to pollinate. So you want to grow like parthenocarpic indoors, or gynoecious. Gynoecious are cucumbers that produce only female. So as soon as the flower come out, that's a fruit. There's no male flower on them. So those are the only two that I would grow inside. If I grow them, you can grow them outside too, but they're best for growing inside. So they just produce fruits on their own, or cucumbers on their own. Have you grown the ahi white lightning bolt? Ahi white lightning bolt. I have grown the white lightning. I'm not sure if that's the same or not, but white lightning is called a habanero. The Yucatan white hab, or the white lightning, or the white bullet hab. I think those are all the same. People call them different names, but they look exactly the same. But I'm not sure about the ahi white lightning. I have not seen that pepper. Sugar baby is your favorite? Yeah, sugar baby. I grew sugar baby one year, Roger, in hydroponic. And I thought that hydroponic watermelon is gonna taste bland, you know, but man, it is super sweet. So yeah, I grew a few watermelon in hydroponic, and they taste so good. I was a little bit shocked by that, because I thought it's just gonna be watery and not sweet at all. but it's very sweet. Oh, you know, another cucumber that you guys should try is the white Itachi. White Itachi varieties, man, they produce really large cucumbers. They're parthenocarpic, and they're just delicious and really, really crunchy. The only problem with that variety, I'm not sure if other varieties are the same, but when it's too hot, they become a little bit bitter. You know, when the temperature goes above like 98 degrees Fahrenheit, they start to get a little bit bitter towards the end. But yeah, I grow that varieties for like maybe 3 years, and I love those. They're really good. So yeah, I gotta show you guys my cucumber this year. What is it? The China Jade and the mini Bayet Alpha. Usually hydroponic takes away the flavor. You know, Brandon, I thought that too, but you know what? I was wrong. I have actually tested this myself. I grow 2 pepper varieties, one in hydroponic and one in soil, exactly the same variety. And when I taste them, you can't tell the difference except the hydroponic one is hotter. And I sent a few off to a few buddies of mine, and they also confirmed that the hydroponic one is hotter too. So yeah. So hydroponic have changed over the years. You know, it's not the same as it used to be. You know, back in the day when you grow hydroponic, right? Normally the people that grow hydroponic is the, you know, people who grow medicinal stuff. And what you had to do back then was you had to flush the system before you harvest. Because if you don't flush it, you know, those chemicals remain in there and it tastes very, very bad. But over the years, things have changed. Now you can just pick it right off the plant and eat it. So, you know, in the past, people asked like, hey, did you flush the system before you harvest your lettuce? And I was like, what? No, you know, I didn't know what that means. I haven't grown, you know, hydroponic when that was an issue. So I didn't know that, but I have to read up on it. And that's what happened in the past. When you grow in hydroponic, you have to flush the system for like 24 hours. Yeah, maybe salt buildup or something. Yeah. Gonna add lots of calcium this year to my peppers. It keeps the flowers from falling off. You know what? You can't add too much calcium either, because too much, the plant is not gonna use it. It's just, you know, it's gonna leave behind. So you don't have to waste adding calcium, because if it doesn't need it, it's not gonna use it. So you may be wasting some of the calcium that, you know, you're feeding the plant. I usually feed them during the bloom stage, because it does help. Also switching to bloom, like if you have a grow series and the bloom series, and you switch to the bloom once the plant is flowering, it does help prevent some drops, and it also helps with the fruiting process, and you know, to keep the fruits nice and clean. Calcium is great for tomato plants and also like other fruiting plants, because it could potentially prevent like what is it, end rot, the end rot, blossom end rot. Yeah. Eggshells in compost for calcium. Yes, eggshells is great for calcium, but the thing is, you have to wait until the eggshell is broken down. You can't just throw a whole eggshell in there, because it takes forever to break down. So I think the best thing to do is grind them up into powder and then throw it into your compost. That way it breaks down real fast and it's available to your plants faster than just throwing the whole eggshells in there without crushing it up. I grew some jalapeno a few years ago from the seeds that I got from the grocery store. And you know, because sometimes you just throw jalapeno seeds and they just grow everywhere. Even from the green pods. It's amazing. Jalapenos are really cool variety pepper. They're just great. You know, they're you can you can do so many things with them. I love grilled jalapenos. Just drop them on the grill when you cook steaks or whatever, and they taste really good. How do you strengthen the stems on your new plants? There's multiple ways you can do it. If you've grown them inside, put a fan. When the fan blows onto the pepper, the pepper swing back and forth like this. It does help strengthen it up. Also, give it enough light. Give it lower light. The lower the amount of light, the better it is, because then the nodes between each leaves are not too separated apart, and that creates like a real strong base for your plant. So if you don't have enough light, what happens is the pepper plant will start to reach, it stretches. And when it stretches, it becomes really weak and skinny. So, make sure your light is sufficient, and also blow fan on it. Make the plant wave around like this, and it'll help it become really strong. What is the best tip for a successful super hot to grow? Wow, that's a tough question, because there's so many things you have to do. The best tip I would say is mix a good blend of soil that would retains water, but also let the excess escape, because peppers don't like their feet wet all the time. Also, give it enough light. It needs at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. And don't overwater and don't overfeed. Those are the 4 things. That's it. It's simple. And then you can have a successful harvest of your plant. Brendan, you amended your outdoor pots. You know what? Use soil are some of the best soil. The reason is you have already plants grown in there, right? And when you grow plants in the previous year's soil, the soil has already been prepared for you, right? There could be dead roots that already separated the soil within the pot. It also softened it up too, because the plant before it creates a new environment for the new plants to grow. So that's why a lot of people are really adamant about top dressing and without disturbing the soil. That method actually works really well, because what happened is over the years, right, the plants that grow already in its place, the roots are already down there working the soil already. It separates it, it creates pocket, it does all that, it softens it up. So if you disturb it, it sort of like creates a new environment all over again. So what people usually do is they top dress and then grow the plant in the same place. And what happened is the new plants will grow roots down where the old roots were, and the soil is already prepared for it. So it helps the new plants kind of like, it leads the way for the new plants. So it's awesome. If you guys ever look those up, top dressing, or just not messing with the bottom soil, it's actually a really great method. Yeah, mycorrhiza is some of the best things that are for any plants. It helps the plant gather nutrients that it couldn't get without the mycorrhiza stuff. Ryan, I really like your recent pear video. Are you thinking about adding any other fruit trees? Yes, I have added, let's see, I have a few mandarin oranges that I just added. I had to replace my lime tree. Andy, I mean, not Andy, sorry, Ryan. If you watched it in the video, you see I showed the lime tree, right? It was killed. Oh man, that snowstorm killed my lime tree. I was really sad about that. So I had to replace that lime tree. And I am adding sugar apples. And what else am I adding? A lemon tree, maybe a lemon tree. Yeah, so a few citrus. Roger, thank you, my friend. It's you again. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. Cheers. Happy Mother's Day. Wow, I've already talked for 45 minutes. It didn't seem that long. Sometimes I talk so much, the times just fly by so quick. I didn't realize it. So let's see. Let me read some more questions for you guys. How old was that lime tree that died? I think I think it was a dwarf one. I think it's 2 years old. It you know, every year it would put out flowers, and I get a few really cool lime. And the trunk is really thick. It's like almost 2 inches thick. So yeah, that tree died. It was really sad because it's kind of pretty to me. So yeah, I have to pull it out. You know, the funny thing is the root stock, I think it's called the trifoliate or something. It didn't die, but the top, of course, the Persian lime died. So I pulled it out and I put it into a pot because I may use that to graft something else back onto it. So that was the plan. So I pull it out and I actually put a persimmon, a giant Fuyu persimmon in its place. So if I do another pair update, I'll be sure to show the persimmon trees. Man, guys, you have to, if you don't have a persimmon tree and you want to grow one, definitely look into it. Persimmons are amazing. They they can live through really cold conditions, and they produce such amazing fruits that are so sweet. They're very easy. The only pest that would ever bother the persimmon is probably squirrels. Squirrels will bite the persimmons and, you know, just bite the fruits off for no reason. Squirrels are just a pain sometimes. But other than that, they're very pest free, and they're really easy. No fault. I usually do the live stream on Saturday or Sunday between 3 to 4 p.m. Central Time. Today is out of the ordinary. I have not done a Sunday one in a long time, so this is just out of the ordinary because I missed it Saturday, so I thought I'd make it up on Sunday. How many mature peppers should I keep in a 2x2 long term? In a 2x2, man, you know what? So 3 years ago, I grew a one pepper plant in a 2x4. The plant is massive. So I think 2x2, if you allow the plant to grow to its maximum potential, then one pepper plant. If you use a small pot, then maybe two pepper plants in a 2x2. But you got to keep them contained, and you also have to do a lot of trimming because 2x2 is not that big. And pepper plants, especially the Chinense varieties, they can easily outgrow that 2x2. Enoch, good to have you, my friend. Good evening, and happy Mother's Day. Thanks for joining me, Enoch. The Urban Gardener, guys. Enoch is a friend from Urban Gardener. He has a YouTube channel also, and he does a lot of great stuff. Interviews, a lot of nice tips and tricks on growing plants. So make sure to check his channel and subscribe. A good friend of ours. We did a live together before. You have a wild persimmon and want to grow a dwarf one? Yes, definitely grow a dwarf variety. You can actually graft a persimmon onto your wild persimmon. And you may have two varieties of persimmons. So I think I'm gonna graft persimmon this year. I've successfully grafted pears and apples. So this year I think I'm going to graft persimmon. That's my next project. Guys, pear grafting is so easy. I've done it for the first time, and out of 7 grafts, I think 3 failed, so I had 4. So that's a better chance than I thought I was expecting. So I grafted a bunch of pears onto, I have 4 or 5 different varieties, and I just cut one and grafted onto the other. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to learn, but It's very easy. It's easier than I thought. Oh, and I also grafted citrus. So I successfully grafted citrus. I did the bud graft for the citrus. The pears, I did a branch graft. But for the citrus, I did a bud graft. So, and peppers, I mean, peppers are so easy. I've been grafting peppers for so many years now. They're really easy to do. And I've learned how to graft pears and other stuff from grafting peppers. Because peppers are so easy to graft. So a lot of the things I learned is actually because I grew peppers. You can apply the what you learn from peppers to other things. No, I did not get any Fuji apples, but I have the Golden Delicious, the Red Delicious, and the Gala apples. The Fuji is so stubborn. It doesn't want to fruit. Maybe it's not ready. Maybe in a few years I'll get some Fuji apples. But yeah, I'm still waiting. I have a 4-in-1 apple, and the only thing that refuses to fruit is the Fuji. Yeah, Enoch, those 4-in-1s and 5-in-1s, they're just amazing because, of course, they're branches from mature trees grafted onto a rootstock. So when you get it home, they literally produces the very first year. But of course, you don't want them to fruit. If you allow them to fruit too early, then the branch won't grow really well. So usually the first year, you cut off all the fruits, cut off all the flowers, and just allow the plants to focus on growth first. And once it gets to a certain size where you think it's strong enough, then you can allow it to fruit. But yeah, I would recommend not letting your fruit trees fruit the first year you get it. Yeah, I do that because I was like, man, I want to see what the fruit look like, It's not recommended, but yeah, I usually allow 1 to 2 fruits to grow. And yeah, and then the next year I said, okay, I saw what it looks like. Now I'm going to cut off all the fruits and let it focus on growth. And yeah, Julio, pepper plants, they flower very fast, especially if you grow them in small pots. So pepper plants are really smart. So as soon as they shoot the roots down to the container, right? And once it starts to wrap like this, it'll send a signal right back to the plant, say, I have no more room to grow, now let's fruit. So that's why peppers in small containers root really fast. Once they start to become root bounded, they'll put out fruits. I mean, yeah, fruits and flowers. Right. Yes, the bees are coming. So the bees are all over my garden right now. So, this year I tried a new trick to try to get the bees to come, because I grow a lot of radishes, and radishes, you can grow them in the cold months. They love the cold weather. But also, if you grow them early in the cold months, and by the time it becomes slightly warmer, they started to produce a lot of flowers. Radishes, guys, have you seen radishes flowers? They produce hundreds and hundreds of flowers. And the bees, man, the bees came so early this year because I allow like a bunch of my radishes to go to flowers. And the radish love the cold. So once the weather gets warm, they're the first to produce flowers. So I have flowers all over the yards, and they're all radishes. So here's the reason why I allow the radish to flowers, because first it attracts the bees, right? But also radishes produce radishes pods. These pods, the seed pods, you can eat them. They're delicious. And so they produce hundreds and hundreds of these seed pods. And before they get too tough, you can actually eat them. And they taste like a radish bulb. So you get the bees to come visit the flowers, and you get to eat the radish pod that tastes just like the radish roots. So yeah, radish is a winner in my garden. Grow some daikons. Daikons are awesome. They produce tons and tons of radish pods that you can eat. And then the flowers, of course, for the bees. And another thing is radish. The aphids love radish, so you grow it next to your other plants. They go to the radishes first. So yeah, radish is just awesome. They create a diversion for the aphids. They have flowers for the bees, and then you can eat the radish pods. So it's a win-win in you know in every situation. Philip, yes, I do know loquats. Yeah, I think my buddy had a loquat tree. Those things can withstand very cold temperature. Yeah, the fruits do taste like apricots. They don't store very well. I think that's why nobody sell them in the stores because you pick them off, you can't store them for very long. Hydro Haven, howdy, my friend. Cheers, happy Mother's Day. Brandy, thank you for stopping by. Have you grown super chilies? Yes, I have grown super chilies a few years ago, and I haven't grown since. So yeah, they're pretty cool chilies to grow. They're not bad. They produce a lot too. Eric Smith, you destroy some people at work with the yellow reapers. Yeah, yellow reapers. I mean, anything that has a reaper in it, it's going to be hot. Have I tried to grow black peppercorns? No, I have not. Uh, those things, you know, I think they take a very long to produce peppercorns. No, I have not. I haven't grown any peppercorns yet. But when I was young, my grandfather grew peppercorns. They're cool. They I mean, yeah, I used to grow them with my grandfather. Favorite dishes using super hot? I would say so many, but I'll name a few. Like spicy cucumbers. I made a video on that already, so check it out. The Korean spicy cucumbers. I love that with the super hots. Let's see what else I make. I love making salsa, and of course my 15-minute hot sauce. Amazing. You guys have to check out the 15 minutes hot sauce. That's the of course my favorite to do. Let's see. Is it able to revive a year-old chili plant? The branches are without leaves, but there are still leaves only on top. Yes, you can revive them. Yes, definitely. Uh, if you sometimes the pepper plant could lose all of the leaves as long as the stem is still alive. If you give it good soil, take care of it, it will come back. 1 year, pepper can live up to 3 to 5 years. So 1 year is still a young pepper plant. Actually, it produces better if it's a year old. Yes, Roger, check out the 15 minutes hot sauce, my friend. You're gonna like it. It's so easy to make and it's so fast. No, Enzo, is actually nighttime. It's 10 p.m. in Texas right now. Yeah, yep, it's 10 p.m. in Texas. Yeah, usually I don't get on this late. But yeah, I thought I'll come on and say hello, happy Mother's Day, and yeah, and talk a little bit because I kind of missed the Saturday. I usually do a live on Saturday or Sunday. Brendan, cool. Yeah, you overwinter 6 pepper plants. How are they doing? You know, overwintering pepper is cool because the next day they're the first one to produce, and also they produce the best. They produce the most. Second year peppers produce a lot. Hadil, how am I? I'm doing great. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Hadil Abdullah. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Steve, that is actually a really good dish. Your girlfriend has some good taste, my friend. Pickled mustard greens with beef. So I hope you saw my recent video on how to make pickled mustard greens. They're so easy. Only water and salt. That's all you need, and it's amazing. And the reason I make them that way, just water and salt without sugar and all that stuff, is because you can add sugar after the fact. After the fermentation happens and it's ready to eat, you take it out and then you can add sugar. That way it stays preserved for a long time. Instead of, because the sugar feeds the bacteria and it starts to make the fermentation much more sour. So that's the reason why I don't add sugar until after the fact. So I add if I need to, I add sugar when I eat it. So that's the way I usually make it, just water and salt, and it's so easy. So yeah, if your girlfriend loves it, make sure to make some for her, and she can be a good gardener. The Reaper tastes kind of weird. Really? Reapers are, slightly fruity. I think it does have a little floral taste to it, and it's extremely hot. Sometimes when you eat the Reapers, you forget what the taste was because it's so hot. I did a review on on a few Reapers a few years ago. Man, that thing is so crazy hot. Yeah, it is no joke. And I saw a few people, of course, Johnny Scoville eats 5 or 6 Reapers at a time. But yeah, people eat Reapers like a snack, which is so crazy to me. Roger, what's for dinner tonight? I just came from my mother's house, and she made some pho noodle soups for us on Mother's Day. We're supposed to be cooking for her, but she wouldn't let us, and she wanted to cook for all of us. So yeah, I just had some pho noodle soups tonight, and yeah, it was great. Spending time with mother, and have a great dinner. Craig, Florida, can you recover a stunted plant that is trying to make peppers at 8 or 10 inches tall? Yes, you can. If you don't want it to produce peppers right now and it's 8 or 10 inches tall, you just pinch the top off, and then make sure the soil is nice and soft and fluffy. Allows the roots to move around, and give it plenty of light. You water thoroughly, but don't water too often. And you can actually recover a stunted plant easily. I do that all the time. My plants look like it looks like it's dying, or it looks really bad because I keep it inside for so long. And when I take it outside, I kind of loosen up the roots a little bit, and then I trim the tip off because it looks really horrible on top, and it's already pushing out flowers, and I don't want it to. So what I do is I pinch off all the flowers. I pinch the tip a little bit. I massage the roots out, put it into a nice pot that has soft soil and good soil, and it will recover in like a week or so, and then it'll grow right back really nice and healthy. Yes, definitely remove all the flowers, because flowers make the plant stunted. Because when they start to flower, they're going to slow down on growth. And if you want them to grow, then you pull off all the flowers, then it focuses back on growth. But you got to feed it a little bit, and also make sure the soil is nice. If the soil, there's nothing in the soil, there's no nutrients or whatever, then it may have a problem all over again. So make sure the soil is good. It's very important. Nice loose soil with the proper amount of nutrients. Don't overfeed the plants, because when you try to rejuvenate it cannot be overfed, because it's going to stress out and start that all over again. So yeah, the most important thing to do for a pepper plant is the right mixture of soil. You create a nice um, environment for them to grow in, and that is used. It takes care of most of the problem, besides pests, of course. Yeah, so you have a nice soil mixture. A lot of people, talk about organic gardening. You make the soil in your garden. Those are usually the best type. If you don't have them, then mix a good, nice, soft soil. Yeah, worm castings work great. Mix it all in there, make it nice and soft. Create a nice environment for the roots to move around. Don't use a lot of clay because it becomes very compacted. So that's it. That's how you kind of recover your plants, and it'll grow again. Yeah, I actually do that every year. Every time I have a plant that looks horrible inside, because I keep it inside for so long in a tiny container, and over time it struggle because it kind of run out of nutrients, run out of space. The roots starting to become root bound, and they wrap into each other, and they start to suffer. And then you just take it outside, loosen the roots up. Sometimes, the roots that are so bounded, you can cut those off too, and it should be fine. Aaron, good evening, Aaron. Happy Mother's Day, my friend. Good to see you here. Cheers, Aaron. My beer buddy. Do oranges help root growth? No, I don't think it does. My wife drove me to heavy drinking. Oh man, Marty, thanks for that joke, buddy. Hakeem, you're. Oh man, I thought you left already. Me and the kids are going to worm picking. Nice, that's awesome. Worm picking in the rain. Yeah, put them into your raised beds. Worms, what is it? They call it soldier of the soil. The best things to have in your garden are the worms. They do so much work that you don't see. What's a good peel to use for nutrients? Banana peel is good for nutrients. Orange peel, you can use orange peel in your compost. It'll break down, and that should feed the soil as well. I mean, anything that's organic, like all the leftover garden pieces, that you don't use, just throw them in your compost. That's what I used to do. I never let my wife throw away anything that we use. Have a little compost bin, throw it in there, and I take it outside and put it in the raised bed. The worms eat them all. You have worms in there, they'll eat them. Eggshells, yes, eggshells. Crush them up. Crush the eggshells up because the whole eggshells takes forever to break down. So if you crush them up into little bits and pieces and grind them up, the finer the better. And then you throw it into your garden. It's actually break down much faster, and it's available for the plants quicker. How many peppers do you think I could fill in a 10-gallon bucket? I would say one, but if you don't have space, then you can do two, but one is enough. Pepper plants can grow massive. Also depends on what variety, but if you're growing super hot, a 10-gallon is, the plant can easily outgrow a 10-gallon. But 5 to 10 gallons is enough for all pepper plants. Just one plant is good. If you want to squeeze two, you can, but if you just grow one plant in a 10-gallon, you get a nice big plant, and it will produce as many fruits as two plants in the same pot. You can dissolve eggshells in vinegar. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Cool. Yeah, definitely did not know you can dissolve eggshells in vinegar. Brandon, why are your propagated cutting growing outward and not upward? They should grow upward unless you cut the top and the sides grow. Usually, if you cut the top, the sides grow. They grow outward. But if you leave the top, they should grow upward. Let's see. Enzo, great. That's awesome. Glad I could help. Have you used the water that you boiled your egg in? No, I haven't. Interesting. Maybe does it give the plant calcium if you use the water to boil your eggs? Yeah, Carolyn, the magic bullet or the ninjas or whatever. Yep, use those to crush your eggshells, and they're nice and quick. And throw in their garden, and that's great. Yeah, that's some good tips, Carolyn. Thank you. So yeah, guys, earlier I was in my hydroponic tent picking tomatoes. Wow, those things taste amazing. I think I have tomatoes like every day, because usually I don't use a lot of tomatoes. I go out pick like 4 or 5 to use a day, and then every day I go out, there's new ones to be picked. So the with my cherry tomatoes, the more I pick them, the faster they ripe on the other plants, and also they put out more pods. I mean more tomatoes. I keep saying pods, but yeah, I love growing tomatoes inside because it seems like I have unlimited supply. They just keep getting new tomatoes all the time. Every time I pick tomatoes, more tomatoes come out. Silver Wing, you won your first ever Rocket League tournament. That's awesome. What is the Rocket League? Can you help? Can you? I'm not sure what that is, but congratulations. How many hours of light do I do for my tomatoes? I usually do 10 for tomatoes and peppers and even melons. I usually do 10. Just it's on a timer. It turns on by itself and turn off by itself. Oh, esport game, cool. Wow. You know what? Speaking of esports, I can't believe that how many people are in like tournaments these days. These game leagues. Oh man, these people make so much money. That's awesome. Congratulations, my friend, for winning that league. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can get it on stream for free. Steam. Okay, Steam. Anybody pulling pepper back inside with the cold night temperature this week? We are in the lower 48 this week. Denise, even if they're in the 48 degrees, you can leave them overnight. They won't die. In Texas, we had a few days of 47, 48 degrees. I just left them outside. They're fine. But if they drop lower, like 45, 43, then they start to suffer a little bit. But if it's just for one night, they should be okay. Uh, Usually, what I do is I'll bring the baby pepper and put it onto my patio in the when it drops to the low 40s, but definitely not in the 30s. If it's in the 30s, definitely bring it back inside. But 48 for one night is okay. But it's better safe than sorry. If it's 48 and you feel it's too cold and it's gonna be for too long, yeah, definitely bring them inside into your garage. until the weather's warm up and bring them back outside. That way they don't struggle. And because pepper plants are, they're warm weather plants. Yeah, isn't it crazy? I mean, it's May now and the weather is too. It's just so strange. So yeah, this year I'm not sure if everybody else is delayed, but yeah, my season for me, my pepper season is definitely delayed. Usually I'll have some pods already by now because I grow them inside, and then I take them outside in April, and then by May I'll have a few pods. But this year I don't have as many. I have a few, but not as many as I would like. And a lot of my plants are just really tiny. They're small. So they have a few months left to catch up. So we're still okay. Oh, Aaron, you're already so hot in California. Wow, yeah. We just started to get a little warm, Aaron. For the past few weeks, it's like up and down, up and down. You know, it's really strange. But usually by this time, it should be really warm. But yeah, we're still getting a little bit cold temperature. Wow. 97 last week. Jeez, man, that's summer to the weather right there already. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, but man, I can't wait to show you guys my melon plant in the hydroponic system in my grow tent. I have a four melons that are just so cool right now. Sheshi, chocolate sprinkles, one of my favorite. I love those things. They're so cool. They taste great. Chocolate sprinkle, tomato. They taste so good. Yeah, I think the weather is just a bit strange for everyone. Aaron, I haven't agreed to test. There's a few companies that contacted me to test their new lights, but they're only wanting to send those little, like a 2x2 lights, which I'm not interested in. I don't want to test those because right now I have two really heavy duty lights in the tent, and and I'm growing a bunch of stuff in there. And to remove those lights and put the mini one on there, it's just too much time. I don't really want to mess with those. And I have so many of those already. I keep giving those away. I don't need any more 2x2 lights. So yeah, I stopped testing those 2x2 lights. It's just too much of a hassle because I gotta test it out, and grow something under the light, and I have, because the light is just so small, I have to, like, I can't grow the things that I want to grow. So yeah, I haven't agreed to test anything. The Spectra LED, I have the Spectra LED up right now. It is actually growing the melons that I'm talking about. Yeah, and I don't want to remove my Spectra LED to test these 2x2 that these companies want to send me. So I told them no. But if they send me something for a 4x4, maybe I'll consider it, because that's usually what I want to grow. Chilled LED, chill LED. I think I saw that brand a few times. Yeah, I can't wait to see your video on that, Aaron. That'd be cool. What's your favorite pepper for food? I love the white Thai. It's my favorite all time. But snacking peppers, I like a bunch. I love Brazilian starfish. I love pequeños. Sugar rush are great. I like eating those. Just munch on them because they're easy to grow too. So sometimes I just leave them on the side somewhere. I don't even look at them, and then they just give me pods. That's how easy the sugar rush are. I love the what is it? My new peach pumpkin. It's a little spicy, but it looks really cool. So I'm gonna show you guys in the upcoming updates how the plants are doing, but it's gonna be a while before they produce pods because this year, as I mentioned, it's been delayed because of the weather is so weird. But I grow a lot of vegetable this year up until now. Usually I stopped growing the cool weather plants already. But up until now, I'm still able to grow cool weather plants because it's still very nice and cool. Um, but peppers are going to be from now to the end of the season. Is there a grow challenge through Facebook? Yes, there is. Brandon, we have a lemon starburst grow challenge. Also, the Fatali grow challenge on Pepper Lovers community. Man, you know what? I've been trying to grow the Fatali for the past few months, and it's not sprouting. I guess I'm kind of like too lazy to start over, but I need to start those seeds because I want to grow them for the contest. I love Fatalis too. They're cool. They taste great too. Hakeem, yes, sugar rush take forever to ripen up, guys. They do. They take so long. That is why I forget them in the corner somewhere because they will produce pods and like a month later or maybe longer, then they start to ripen up. They take forever. They're really stubborn, but once they start to ripen up, everything ripen up at the same time. So all you do is pick, 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 pick. So it's kind of a trade-off. You wait forever, and then they'll give you a whole bunch at one time. Yes, obsessive gardener, welcome, my friend. Thanks for being here. Yes, the sugar rush are really awesome varieties. I love them. Most of the ahis are really nice too. Like, say, if you have not seen the ahi, like the ahi fantasy, the ahi omnicolor, ahi pineapple, and ahi lemon. Those are all fantastic varieties, and they produce so much, and they taste pretty good too. Nice and fruity, slightly tropical. I love those. So a lot of the ahis are really good. You like to mix the sugar rush with brain strain. Oh man, that would be a good one. Sugar rush is a solid variety. They're really easy to grow. Yes, Aaron. Aaron said all new growers should grow sugar rush because they're weeds. They grow. You don't have to. Sometimes you don't even have to water them. They still grow. The sugar rush grew. Aaron, my sugar rush grew all the way up until February. If it wasn't for the crazy snowstorm that we had, the historic crazy snowstorm, my sugar rush would still be alive right now. It grew through winter, and I thought it's gonna overwinter itself, but yeah, the winter storm killed it. Yeah, Hakeem, the sugar rush. I mean, not the sugar rush, but the fatali. They're just. I'm having trouble with those. I need to start over. Tracy, thank you for finally catching the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, I think Sugar Rush can live very long. Maybe I haven't let them live more than one season, but I'm sure they can live easily for 2 or 3 seasons. Enzo, can you try to breed a bell pepper with a reaper? I don't think it worked, but I think somebody already bred a Scotch bonnet with a bell, and it's called a Scotch bell. But I think if it's possible, somebody would have already done it. Because they're different species. They're just different, so it's going to be difficult. Yes, if temperature drop below 36, and if you have a hoop house, if the hoop house can stay above 48, 49 degrees to 50 degrees, your pepper plant will be fine. But yeah, 36 definitely it won't be fine. If it's 36 only for a few hours, like one night, it could be okay. But yeah, 36 is just way too cold. But if your hoop house can stay above 50 or somewhere hovering around 50s, it should be fine. They won't die. Cool, you saw the new Marvel Shang-Chi and you thought it was me? That is me. I'm a huge Marvel fan, by the way. Yeah, I've been reading Marvel since the day of, let's see, my favorite was the Silver Surfer back in the day. The X-Men, of course. I love the X-Men. Magneto is my favorite. Doctor Doom, man, those I don't know why I love the villains, but those are my favorite super villains. Koi said I look like Shang-Chi. Is it yeah, I'm glad they finally make that movie. It's gonna be cool. I just watched what was it? A Mortal Kombat. Man, I had huge expectations, but I was a little bit disappointed at the same time. But a lot of the nostalgic effects came back when I watched the movie, but it wasn't as good as I was expecting, because what happened was they showed the first 7 minutes on YouTube, and oh my God, the first 7 minutes was so good. And so I was expecting so much more because of the first 7 minutes. But then it ended up disappointing me because it didn't follow the first 7 minutes. And it's just, it's not that good afterwards. Okay, let me see. Your hydroponic DIY for beginner, make it accessible to all, explaining simple. Yeah, I'm glad you like those videos. Usually a lot of people are intimidated by hydroponic, and if I make the videos too complicated, nobody's gonna watch it if you want to do it for the first time. But also, you should keep it simple. And hydroponic can be very easy, but it could also be very complicated. So keep it simple first, get the hang of it, and then you can complicate it on your own. So yeah, the thing is, keep it easy, keep it simple, simple, simple. And that as simple as actually is, just mix water, nutrients, boom, get a good light source, and you're ready to go. And then once you got it all dialed in, you can tweak it a little bit more, and adjust pH, adjust the EC, and all that stuff. But keep it easy in the beginning so that you don't get discouraged. Wow, I'm like all over the place. First we're talking about peppers, then the hydroponics, and then Mortal Kombat and Marvel and everything. I'm like into everything. Yes, pH meters are great, they're easy, but pH strips, maybe drops, that maybe they're much cheaper to use. um, Enzo, yes, I love Deadpool. Deadpool is quite a character. But I mean, I like him for the comedic effect and all that stuff. But as far as character wise, I love Doctor Doom and Magneto the most. I think they're those guys. The Fox have done them so wrong. They should do a reboot on Magneto and Doctor Doom from the Fantastic Four. They screwed up the Fantastic Four so bad. I mean, it's gonna be almost impossible to save that franchise unless they reboot the entire thing. Magneto is overpowered. But if you read his backstory, he has a very tragic beginning, and I think that is the reason why I'm so drawn to him. He's not evil by heart, but he does have his mind set on one thing, which is to get rid of the humans and make mutant the only thing that is alive. Are you going to be on spice? What is it? This is going to be one spicy year. Yeah, sure. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to later this summer because, man, I have a few new varieties that I'm dying to see the fruits on these things and try them and show them to you guys. So yeah, it's going to be a spicy year. I have a bunch of things to make. Um, New dishes I need to try with the super hot and all that stuff. No fall. How's my overwinter doing? They're all dead. I mean, when that crazy storm hit, because I have most of my plants in the garage, and even in the garage, it would drop down to what is it, 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and it stayed that way for 1 week, and everything just completely died. Yeah. So even some of my fruit trees didn't make it. Yeah. So all of my overwinter plants died. It was very unfortunate because I thought that, man, I'm gonna have a good start this year because I overwinter some of my best plants, and I was like, man, these things are gonna be amazing this season. They're gonna be the first one to produce. But you saw the crazy storm. Everybody had it. Texas had it so bad. We lost power. Um, we had outages and all that stuff, and it was just a historic event. It's like we had snow that we have never seen for such a long time. The temperature dropped to 0 degrees, which is so rare. I mean, I haven't seen that in a very, very long time, and so everything was just dead. So all of my overwinter plants died, so I had to start over with everything. And even then, we were delayed because the winter didn't want to go away until just now. Florio, the Marvel is rebooting the Fantastic Four. Yes, I hope they do. They need to put back Doctor Doom the way he really is, and they need to make Galactic a real galactic and not that crazy smoke that they had in the first Fantastic. Oh God, talking about the Fantastic Four movie, it's very sad what Fox have done to it. It is terrible. They should have given it back to Marvel to make those movies. They screwed it up so bad. Even my favorite, the Silver Surfer, they screwed up the Silver Surfer so bad. I mean, that guy is just amazing. But yeah. I'm glad they're rebooting the Fantastic Four. Of all the movies that they made on the Fantastic Four, all of them are terrible. What is your favorite setup? What is your fan setup for the tent that you use? Oh, James, have you seen the tour that I made on the grow tent? I put a fan. It was just a small fan, and the fan I just zip tied it on top of the light because the light does run a little hot, and with the fan blowing down on it, check out my tour, the tour that I made on the grow tent, and you will see exactly what I used. It's really simple. I got the fan like for 14 bucks on Amazon, and it works great. It's very quiet, and it's been working for like over a year, maybe almost 2 years now. It's really nice, and the fan really helps cool the light. You know, when you cool your light, it helps expand the lifetime of the light because these lights run really hot. Ant. Good to have you, Ant. Yes, except Jessica Alba. But you know, Jessica Alba was just in there because she's famous and pretty. But the Fantastic Four movie in is just terrible in general. It's just they did the movie so bad. I mean, they Galactic is not a cloud. You know, it's just horrible. And then the next one where they made like Doctor Doom. Oh God, they screwed my Doctor Doom up so bad. It hurts me. Johnny Storm Pepper. Yeah, Johnny Storm can no peppers can hang with Johnny Storm. You hate Captain Marvel? You know what? I haven't seen Captain Marvel either. You know what? I was going to watch it, but somehow I just forgot. But yeah, Captain Marvel is a little bit different also because in the comics she's also a different character. I love watching the X-Men. Remember Rogue from the X-Men actually almost killed Captain Marvel and stole her power. But yeah, that's just a little bit backstory to Rogue. Is 50 degrees Fahrenheit too cold for pepper at night? No, it's actually not too cold. They won't grow in 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but they won't die. You can leave them in 50 degrees Fahrenheit and they'd be just fine. Desirac, well, why I am not on the pepper Discord? I think I should get on there one day. Usually, I don't get onto the social media too much. I do Instagram, but I usually go on, I post, and I get off. I go onto Facebook, I'll check a few things here and there, and then I get off. Maybe do a post, maybe respond to a few things. I do YouTube videos because I have videos recorded over time, and then I do live every once in a while. But usually, I don't stay on social media very long. So I usually get on and get off. That's why people always complain that I don't answer messages, and I apologize. I just get on and get off very quick. So sometimes I don't get to answer everybody's messages. So that's why I take the time to do a live on Saturday and Sunday. That way I can answer all the questions that I may have missed. So I usually tell people to join the live and ask the question on the fly, and I can answer right then and right there. What is that a website or an Etsy seller or what? I'm not on Etsy, by the way, just in case you're wondering. I don't sell anything. Yes, that's right. It's definitely very time consuming, and I think if you guys have followed me, I have two very young children, so they take up all of my time. So yeah, that's I used to be more active you know, in the pepper lovers community when it was Google Plus, because back then I didn't have children and now I do. The house plants, the and I'll show it to you later, because I actually have the thing stuck down on the computer right now. If I pull it up, I'll pull up my monitor too. KCDgarden.com. Yes, come to KCD Garden, everyone. I do try to post all of the peppers that I'm growing onto KCD Garden, and so yeah, go there, and if you have stuff to post, you can post also. Drew, yes. If your plants, if you put them in full sun and they wilt after a few hours, do that for a few days, up to a week, and they should be okay. It could be because the weather, the conditions that they were in before wasn't the same. So when you put them in full sun, they still haven't been adjusted yet. So do that for like a week. Put them in the sun for an hour or less. Take them out. Then the next day try again, and then do that for a week, and then they should be okay after that. The leaves has to toughen up a little bit. Are banana peppers edible at all stages? Yes, all peppers are edible at all stages, but usually they don't taste. They only taste good at a certain stage. Jay, I am in North Texas, Zone 8A. I'm Super Saiyan tonight. Philip, I'm also a big Dragon Balls fan. I used to watch them a lot when I was younger. So I know a good amount about the Dragon Ball universe. Man, I'm like all over the place. The comics, peppers, anime. I guess a little geek in me. No, Roger, I'm lower the Dallas area, Dallas, Houston area. Panhandle is way tall, way north. Let's see. Cheers, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Julio, yes. Mighty, you're correct. I do have a few videos detailing every step on how to breed peppers. So if you want to check it out, browse the channel. You will see. I showed the steps from start to finish, so you can learn how to breed your own pepper. Am I a space geek? Like space as in like outer space? Brendan, there's the question. What's everyone's beer of choice tonight? Mine is the Carbach Hopadillo. I'm having hop beers from Carbach Brewing Company, which is it was originally in Dallas. I mean, sorry, is it Houston? Yeah, Houston. It's a local one. Should you start picking your banana peppers yellow or green? Yellow is for the best taste. Green is still a little bit young. Banana peppers are usually best when they're slightly yellow, because that's when they're more mature. They have the best flavor, and they're still nice and crunchy. Paulo, have I grown Malagueta peppers? Yes. Actually, I haven't personally grown the Malagueta, but a friend of mine crossed a Malagueta pepper with a Thai pepper, and he sent the seeds to me, and I grew a bunch of his hybrids and sent back the seeds to him. The hybrids are really interesting, really nice, and it's a little spicy, but it has good flavor. And they produce so much, the hybrids that he sent me. I mean, I think I grew one last year, and they produced so many pods that I stopped picking. Sahib, is it Sahib? Sorry if I mispronounced. Can you grow a lemon tree from seed? Yes, you can grow a lemon tree from seed, but I don't recommend growing from seed for one reason, because lemon can take maybe 5 to 6 years or something like that to actually produce a lemon. So it's always best to buy a grafted tree, because if you buy a grafted tree, you probably get lemon in the first year. So if you have the time to invest, you can definitely grow a lemon tree from seed. But you know, the thing is, lemon could potentially carry this disease that can cause other lemon to be affected. So sometimes when you grow from seeds, they could be brought from somewhere that had the disease in there. And when you grow it, the lemon tree could have disease already in it, and then it could spread to the surrounding lemon tree. That's why Texas has a very, very strict lemon or citrus law. Even California, same thing. They have a very strict law on citrus tree. So that's why when you buy citrus, they would not ship it to Texas. But yeah, yeah, if you happen to have a rare variety, you can definitely grow it from seed. Yes, they're actually really easy. The thing is, you make sure you have a ripe lemon, right? And then once you take the seeds out, put the seeds on the counter for like a day or so. It would dry up, and once the seed dry up, you can actually take the seed and peel. There's an outer layer to the skin. The outer layer protects the seed from inside, and if you peel that off and then put the seed in soil, they sprout faster. And because I know this because I've done it so many times. I sprout lemon seeds all the time just for fun. They're really easy to grow. Yes, Mighty Noah. Yes, the reason they won't ship to California and they won't ship to Texas is because of that diseases that lemon or citrus carry. And in California, they're very, very strict. And you can actually get cuttings from the research center where they research whether disease-free grafts and stuff like that. You can email them and pay them like a few dollars, and they send you fully, like disease-free cutting that you can use for grafting, or you can use for like whatever else that you do. So in California, they have a really nice program that allow you to do that. Master J, glad you're here with us. Thank you for joining. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Fernando, why my pepper dropped the flowers? It's a 7-pot Jonah and it looks super healthy. I'm from Mexico. Okay, if your pepper plant is super healthy and it's dropping flower, that's because the plant is focusing on growth. It could be because the soil has a really nice mixed blend of nitrogen. Nitrogen usually feeds the plant really well, and it causes the plant to grow. And when the plant grow, it drops all of the blooms to grow. That's why it looks really super healthy, but the flowers keep falling off. So it's going to keep growing and growing and growing until it is ready to fruit, and then it will stop growing, and then it will start to produce flowers. So maybe you are you feeding the plant? Because if you are, stop feeding it. Then it will start to slow down, and then maybe it will produce flowers. But yeah, if your plant looks super healthy, but it just dropped all the flowers, that's because it's still growing. It's focusing on growth. So in order to do that, it drops all of the flowers. Yes, Enzo, you can pick up the flowers if your plant is too young and you don't want it to fruit. Yes, that actually helps. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I've been on for almost 2 hours now, so I have to get ready. It's 11. It's almost 11 o'clock. So yeah, it's great to be on, and good to have everyone here. Happy Mother's Day, and I'll do this next week. Thanks again, everybody. Bye now.